today we are looking at the story of the weights. When I say the story of the weights, we're looking at how the weighing system in our country evolved over the last 500, 600 odd years. In India, the weight used to be in rattis. What exactly were they? This is actually the most interesting story, because if I was to tell you that what is a ratti, you will be surprised, because this is what a ratti is. Now, a ratti exactly is a seed. As time moved on, we had the Mughals coming into the country. The Mughals figured out that it was very difficult to actually continue with a system of weighing which was not standardized, because they had to collect the revenue from the farmers and they had to collect the revenue from different sources. So the baats came in. The baats were very similar to the modern weights which are there. So if you want to look at the modern weights, which is the kilograms, not now as we see the digital weights, but even if I go to my sabzi wala bhaiya or somebody, you'll still see them using the kilograms. The baats eventually moved on to be called in as seir. So the weight of 7,685 rattis approximately was what one seir used to be. So if you see, this is do seir. The do seir came into different shapes and sizes because different principalities, different cities, different kings had their own seirs which they used to issue out. So there are just two examples here. We have a lot of different examples. The seirs started getting affected with the Britishers coming in. The Britishers brought in their own weighing system into the country. So the Britishers brought in what you look at here, the lbs or the pounds. So you have a 4 lb which was issued out, you had a 2 lb which was issued out, you had 1/4 of an lb issued out. So practically a parallel system of weights was happening in the British era. So these are some iconic weights if the history of the country is concerned, if you look at the history of the weights. So this is what you have as the King George weights which were there. In 1958, the government decided to change all this confusion and came up with a standardized weighing system. That is when the kilograms came into existence, which we still use. So these are your kilogram weights which are there. So these are 1960s kilogram weights which came in, the 500 gram of a kilogram which was there. So this is what and how the history of weights in the country has been, from seeds of a plant, the ratti, to the kilogram. So this is how the evolution of the weights have been there in the country. I hope you liked the story on the weights.